Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today. And though you've come through many obstacles.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to Infinity Train, Book 4, Chapters 3, and possibly on. And I say that because, although there's only 10 episodes of this is a series that when I recorded the first episodes and all, it's like, okay, these are too short, I need more. But I also don't want to rush through it, but I need more. So I had been debating with myself, should I do multiple episodes in a video? And I think I'm going to kind of see in this video if that overall desire to continue remains. So what we're going to do is we're going to react to episode 3. And then if I feel that desire to continue is still heavily there, enough to where I feel like I just don't want to hold off for another video, then we'll continue. We'll continue to episode 4. It's doubtful we'll continue on anything past that. It's doubtful we'll do more than 2 episodes here. But it's possible we could. It just depends on how these end up going. Now, with this being the final season as well, there's also the fact that I don't want to rush it necessarily too much. But I'm just going to let it lead me rather than lead it. So if I'm led into doing multiple episodes here, we'll do multiple episodes. If I'm led into just doing one, then we'll just do one. But another reason I wanted to kind of possibly do multiple episodes is because our schedule is pretty packed right now, if you haven't noticed. I mean, we have 2 shows on a day again. Last time we did this was during the summer when we had Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel coming out, and I just didn't want to wait for those. Well, I mean, it's kind of the same thing here. I just didn't want to wait for JoJo. But there's a bunch of stuff coming out this fall, and right now, I'm not sure if I have the space for everything. Which means I might have to either do multiple shows a day again for other days of the week, or I'm going to have to get through some things a little quicker. And this slot I know I specifically want for one show that's coming out. And so I'm wondering if it, like, should I maybe up this a little bit? And it's like, you guys know my thoughts on getting, on like rushing through series and like the binge model and everything. But for anyone who might be new for whatever reason, just quick overview. My thoughts are, I don't like the binge model. I don't like binging shows typically because I feel like having that wait time between episodes allows it to build up tension and cliffhangers and whatnot to where it builds upon the suspense of it all in a way that is invaluable to the experience of viewing the series. But at the same time, again, it's like I don't want to have to wait forever. Because even if I force myself to record all the way through this and all, let's say I recorded all of these episodes, but I did 1 episode per video. At that point, it would still, I could start recording the next show, which would be nice, but it'll be forever until it starts getting put up on the channel, because it's like, I still would have to wait a long time for all of these other videos to get put up. That's also a reason why, instead of just recording them all like separately and all, I do put some multiples in specific videos, because that way it helps get it through quicker. So if I am trying to get to the next show after, it doesn't take too long, you know? But with the multiple things coming out this fall that I want to react to specifically, I might have to just bite the bullet and make another slot a double show slot for now. It's not gonna be like with Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan, because both of those were like double length in terms of runtime, about 45 minutes or so on average runtime. When you compare that with the typical runtime of like an episode of anime or a cartoon, it's like 22 minutes. It's half the time about. And so it's like it'll be a much easier to handle than back then. Because back then, it's like, again, they were longer shows. And I still handled it back then, so it's going to be a lot easier than in the summer. If I have to do that. It's just there's so many things coming out. But the problem is there's also a couple things that I'm going to have to wait on, like Bleach. I'm going to be waiting for the dub because I don't like the Japanese voices for the characters. And I assume they're not going to be much different than in the original. But it's like there's other stuff coming up this fall, like Chainsaw Man, the new My Little Pony series, and I think a couple other things too that I want to react to. Chucky season 2, that's one we're definitely going to get back to. Dragon Prince season 4 is coming out this fall. That's in November. And I think that's it for now that I'm reacting to, because I'm not going to be reacting to the new season of My Hero. I'm not going to be reacting to season 2 of Uzaki. Those will be my own time. And then other stuff I'm currently thinking about are on play for next year. So, but still, so that's My Little Pony, Bleach once the dub comes out, and Dragon Prince and Chainsaw Man. 4 shows coming out this fall that I have to account for. And I've got plans for where to place them. Like, for depending on where each series is going to go, basically. But it's like I've got to get to that. And again, certain shows I'm more invested in than others. Dragon Prince, I got some time to worry about. That's a couple months after everything else still. But, you know, you got Chucky, and that's coming out right away. Chucky, Chainsaw Man are both coming out right at the beginning of October, and MLP is coming out at the end of this month. So it's like I've got to figure out all 3. And Chucky is an Impressions continuation, so that's a specific slot. While the other 2 are not a specific slot. I don't know. It's just, I'll have everything figured out. If I absolutely need to add another slot, I will. It's not something I necessarily want to do, but if I absolutely need to, I will. But we'll tackle that as we get to that. I think right now the big thing to worry about is simply just how we're going to end up getting through the shows we've already got. Like what we're going to do for that. And like I said, for this one at least, I think we're just going to let it take us on its journey. We're going to let it control the flow and the narrative. If I feel like I want to continue afterwards, we will. Sort of like what I do for Amphibia. Basically, we'll watch episodes until I feel it feels right to end. Um, but that could be any number of episodes, so who knows? But let's actually talk about, like, after 10 minutes now, let's actually talk about what happened last time. So, last time, well, the first episode was just them, us being introduced to our main characters, to Mingy and Ryan. Second episode was their first actual episode on the train. They dealt with this car that could change geological eras, and they met this Belle character whose name I can't remember at the moment, who seems to be their new companion for now. So that's interesting. And it's very clear that their big thing is they still think that they're best friends, yet very much do not act like it. They they have a lot of issues to work out in regards to how their friendship has gone. Ryan obviously is way too pushy and is just forces things on Mingy last minute without giving him time to think. And it's like his heart's not bad. His heart's not in the wrong place or anything. He's just handling it extremely wrong. He's pushy, he's a little selfish, but he's not a bad dude. And Mingy is trying to, you know, live up to expectations and go to college and everything, and even throw his career away because it's what he believes he should do rather than what he wants to do. And he's just not having a good time speaking up about that and allowing his own desires to take hold. They both have these issues, and I'm wondering how they're going to evolve and grow and develop throughout the season. Again, we've only got 10 episodes, so not a lot of time, but especially since they're half length. I think it's 10. Let me check real quick. I think it's 10 episodes. Should be. Yeah, it's 10. I have all of them downloaded already. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Um, I don't know how this one is gonna compare to the last in terms of how it ends and all. But one thing to note is it seemed like I was questioning the art style change and everything in the first episode with Amelia being shown. But after rewatches and stuff, I don't know if I mentioned this last time. I don't know if I fully came to terms with it last time in episode 2. But I think this takes place in the past. Because I don't think it's an art style change. I think Amelia is younger. Like, I think this takes place, like, this is not sequential to the other books. This takes place before the events of all of the others, before book 1, 2, and 3. Books 1 through 3 were sequential. They were in order. But book 4 is sort of a prequel of sorts, even though it's, still different characters and all. It just takes place prior to the events of the first 3. That's what I'm thinking, at least, and unless anything changes that seems to be the case based on Amelia and 1 at that time, just being 1, I guess. Just how they are portrayed in the first episode. But maybe we'll get more on that at some point. I also wonder if this is a prequel and everything, like what other characters might make a return to some degree. I think the cat has been in every one of these. Was there a name like Samantha or Amanda or something like that? But she's been in like every one of these. So she could possibly return. And there's a lot of other characters that could return, hypothetically. So we'll just have to see. But yeah, I actually don't really know where this goes at all. Like with other parts, I knew maybe a tiny bit here and there. Maybe like I had seen a screenshot or something. Really, the only screenshots I had seen from this part, from this book or season or whatever you want to call it, was just like a shot of Mingy and Ryan together. Like that's pretty much it. I know nothing about where this one goes, which is interesting. Um, so it's going to lead to a much more just fresh experience, I feel. Um, excuse me. Sorry about all that. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this does go. And like I said, we're going to go with the flow, see where it takes us, and for as many episodes as it takes us. So, for the time being, let's get this started. When the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades black and it fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. Or episodes. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So this was an interesting couple episodes. Just showing off more weird-ass cars. Especially that second one. It's like, geez. But also kind of giving us an even better look into why both of them need to be there. So the first of these two episodes, episode 3, focused on this Western bug car. And continuing right off from where we left off, we find out Kez was like an outlaw there. Because apparently she spilled tea on the town ledger or whatnot. So Mingy and Ryan are trying to escape. They end up seeing the cat in the saloon. She tries to help them at first, but when finding out about a reward, sells them out and gets them sent to prison. Kez breaks out. They're put on trial by the sheriff, who is also the judge and who also might be trans. Like, let me see if I can look that up real quick. Because I was kind of unclear on that. Because it seems like the Caterpillar sheriff, seemed like the Caterpillar sheriff was portrayed as being male, but the butterfly judge, Judge Morpho, was seemingly female. Like, based on what they were saying, they were using those God, what is the word? Pronouns? um, I'm not seeing anything necessarily. Let me see here. I got an idea. I don't know, I'm not seeing anything about it, but if I don't know, it just maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Caterpillar sheriff was female too. It's just I'm trying to look up things, without seeing spoilers too, so keep that in mind. But yeah, it's just that's interesting to if it is the case. If otherwise, I might just be projecting. I might be completely wrong. Um, but they're sentenced to be fried by the bug zapper. But with Kez's help, and I guess the cats as well, they are able to escape. And the next episode focuses on Pig Baby and everything, who is voiced by J.K. Simmons. All right. Not the role I would have ever expected for him, but okay. Um, so in this car, it's pretty simple. Pig Baby wants to eat, and Pig Baby's quote unquote mother, Cow Creamer, wants Pig Baby to be fed. And Pig Baby eats until he dies, and then is replaced by the next person, by the person who fed, into the new cow baby or pig baby, which is just like, why? I know it's the Infinity Train, but it's like, why? Of all the things, just why? And apparently, there's been multiple like incidents that have happened on here. There's a grease fire that destroyed all the other cookbooks, and there was the butter incident caused by Kez in the past, in which Kez took all the butter, melted it in the microwave, and forgot about it. So that's fun. So Mingy and Ryan have to work together to try and make something using the only cookbook left, which is post-war American foods, in order to try and please Pig Baby. And only through working together on some brownies do they manage to succeed. They finally work together, it all works out. But in the end, they find out about the entire plan with being replacements for Pig Baby, and so they have to leave through the door which is in Pig Baby's mouth. They make it work. But Mingy takes the wrong idea from all of this. When the numbers go down and all, he seems to think that it's because of Ryan. He seems to think Ryan's number is the one that needed to go down. He's thinking like, okay, Ryan's the one who learned a lesson here. Ryan learned to slow down. And he's completely just, without the slightest bit of irony, missing the point. It's not just Ryan who had to learn to slow down. Yes, that I do believe that is true, but it's also him. He had to learn to, not be as uptight and to actually have fun and put his own fun and own desires before others. That's what he's there for. By putting all of the blame on Ryan, he's refusing to take any responsibility of his own, which is never a good thing. So we definitely see where some of the issue is coming from here. He's refusing to take responsibility for things. He's refusing to acknowledge that he's also part of the problem. It's not just Ryan. So we could see that there are issues going on in regards to that, and hopefully it gets resolved. Because since I do know that this is the final season and everything, I'm hoping that this isn't left unresolved in the end. But it was a very interesting set of episodes. Two of the weirder cars for sure, especially with the Pig Baby car. Like, that one was fucking weird. But we also kind of got at the end as well, at least at the end of the first one, or was it the end of the second one? I don't know. Either way, the Parka denizens from before are now going to team up with the Western Bug denizens and are going to, I guess, hunt down Mingy, Ryan, and Kez. So that's interesting. That's fun. I guess we'll see how that all ends up going down. But yeah. So we're going to do this from now on with the series. We're just going to take it as it goes and do as many episodes as I end up feeling is right, just so we can get to the next shows quicker. And again, I'll probably be recording ahead of time and everything anyway, so yeah. You'll just be seeing it a little later due to, scheduling and all. But either way, thank you so much for tuning in. Tell me in the comments below, what are your thoughts on these 2 episodes of Infinity Train Book 4? And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.